Hello, my name is Bill Malone, and this is my video discussion board for week 7 for EDU 630. The discussion for this week is for me to offer examples of how I use technology and assistive devices to create a classroom designed to meet the needs of my students. As I mentioned before, I'm not a classroom instructor. I've never taught in the public school system. My primary experience has been as a trainer training adult students. I've had the opportunity to use various technologies such as PowerPoint to create presentations, Photoshop to create graphics and design, GoToMeeting, Zoom, Premiere, various technologies like that, but never in the classroom environment. However, I personally had opportunity to use 2 or 3 techniques that were in the textbook. I had opportunity to use the station rotation and the station model and the rotation model that were mentioned in our textbook. The station model rotates all the students through all of the stations. At least one of which includes some online activity in the classroom. That's in Roblier 2019, page 273. And when I did that, we created workstations and set up computers and allowed them to attempt to try various techniques using what we were teaching at the time. And I believe at the time it was probably real estate or something of that nature. Also, I've had opportunity to use as stated, the model gives each student the opportunity to access the technology and assist while at the same time allowing me, the instructor, to provide some degree of instruction. Also, the rotation model, which is much like the station model, positions the learner and to transition among face-to-face and online learning, modulates sometimes on a fixed schedule or as the teacher directs. And that's also Roblier 2019, page 273. Now, this is where what we would do is we'd set up workstations. We'd set up computer stations, and sometimes we would let them, it would be timed where you only have a few seconds to finish an exercise, and then you'd rotate to the next station. And other times we would provide some direct instruction on each one. It was usually more of a blended effort to where I would teach something, they would try something. I would teach something, they would try a few more things, and they would have opportunities to do various things along route. And in my experience, both of these models work well in situations where you have limited resources as it relates to technology. And you know, that as in we only have so many computers, we only have so many software licenses, and so many opportunities for them to actually physically touch the technology. And in my experience, I've noticed that adults learn best when things are hands-on. Obviously, everybody has different learning styles, but it's so much easier to learn some technology efforts when you're able to physically touch it. Most of the classes I've taught have been somewhat blended. And I believe, and this is important, I believe that the future of education will heavily leverage technology, and students that have access, that lack access to these various forms of education will be limited in how they're able to advance. I believe there will come a point where if you are not using technology, like right now during this pandemic, if you don't have access to technology, then you won't be able to advance at all. You may not even be able to acquire or achieve an education, because distance learning is, as I truly believe, the wave of the future. I hope this was a blessing. I hope this lesson was helpful. And I look forward to hearing anyone's feedback. God bless.